They came up, you know, with, they love this, the war on terror. From their standpoint, all the other wars had a bad effect. They ended. It was a terrible thing. I remember seeing George H.W. Bush and Jim Baker on television after the fall of the Berlin Wall. These guys were white-faced. They were so obviously unhappy. Rather than celebrating the end of communism, they were worried about what would happen to the entire U.S. imperial system if it didn't have the bogeyman of communism to keep pointing to. So they came up with terrorism. A war, as Sibel Edmonds pointed out the other day, can never be won. Can never be won, and it can never stop. Because there always might be a terrorist someplace, even if there's no actual terrorism.
It's the perfect phantom. And so if you don't have a big jihadi problem, well, give them weapons in Libya, give them weapons in Syria, let them come into Iraq. If they don't paint by the numbers and get into an area they're not supposed to be, bomb them. But isn't it wearing thin, Lew Rockwell? It's gotten so obvious now that the system is arming and creating these people that if ISIS does end up shooting down airliners with these MPADs, if they do end up attacking the West with our borders wide open, that the politicians might actually get in trouble? Or do they have such a low view of the public's awareness that they don't care? Because as we saw last year, it was beautiful, our military led the charge, saying, and this show led the charge, and Lew Rockwell led the charge, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling folks we were able to get something done where the world said, and Rand Paul said, and Cruz said, and Ron Paul said, let's not be al-Qaeda's air force. And so that war didn't happen. Now, I understand what Rand Paul's saying. ISIS is running around murdering Christians en masse, trying to overthrow Syria. And he said, I think we should hit them now, but you helped arm them, Obama. The reason, and again, I don't ever support war. And I'm just saying tacitly, I get what Rand Paul is saying, and he added the proper proviso. By the way, we armed these people. This is wrong. So if we saw people arrested at the State Department who were behind this, if we saw a public apology, if we saw congressional hearings like with Nixon promising to never arm al-Qaeda again, or anybody else for that matter that's extremist or whatever, then I would be for stopping them. But as you said, the people that run the policy, they just want to keep it going forever.
Well, we have to remember, as you pointed out, al-Qaeda is a creation of the U.S. government. When the U.S. was running this proxy war against the Russians in Afghanistan, in which they were successful at tossing the Russians out, and it was a good thing for the people of Afghanistan. Then, of course, the U.S. went in even worse than the Russians. But they gathered every Islamist crazy in the world. Osama bin Laden was there, funded by the Saudi Arabians, run by the U.S. to get these are the so-called mujahideen. Remember them? The freedom fighters. Hey, those were great guys. They were being touted in Washington as wonderful people. So that was a U.S. creation. ISIS is another U.S. creation. ISIS was armed by the U.S. to try to overthrow the Syrian government, and then they move out. You know, and then nobody worries about all the beheadings that take place in Saudi Arabia every day. Those are perfectly okay. And so beheadings, I'm certainly against all forms of capital punishment, although whether a beheading is actually worse than, let's say, a 2-hour lethal injection in Oklahoma might, you know, maybe is another question. So, of course, these killings are horrendous. If we're to believe them, if we're to believe they're not, it's just not war propaganda, phonied up. As to Christians being killed, where have these politicians been when Christians were being massacred and ethnically cleansed out of Iraq for years? This has been going on for years in Iraq. Nobody cared. Now all of a sudden it's a good device to go to war, so they're talking about the Christians. Well, why don't I believe them? I think it's just a tool. They want war. There's vast.
Exactly. The people running things are bad. And so no matter what we do, no matter if we try to say, let's have a humanitarian war, an oxymoron, they will always just use it to start the next war. So it's like the Ring of Mordor. It cannot be used for good.
Well, you know, it's killing. I mean, it's actually murder. It's mass murder is what war is. And of course, the vast majority of people killed in every war are civilians, not soldiers. So people who are advocating war are advocating massacring innocents. And we're supposed to think those are good guys. We're supposed to think that, you know, salute them. I noticed none of them ever went in the military, of course. They didn't go fight anything, but they want to send other guys to go fight, women to fight too. and they want to kill a lot of innocents. They want to cause much more hatred of the U.S., which they love that because it stimulates more warfare.
You're right. You're right. Lou Rockwell's right. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
In today's unstable environment, self-protection is critical. Civil unrest, riots, looting, it's happening now, right here in the United States, and your rights are at risk. If passed, H.R. 5344 would ban Level 3 and above body armor. Cady Armor is standing up for you. We offer the most affordable Level 3 body armor on the market. Cady Level 3 armor withstands pistol and rifle hits up to 7.62 NATO. Get yours at CadyArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Cady Armor. Come and take it.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-6805. That's 1-800-281-6805. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-6805. That's 1-800-281-6805.
For all our loyal listeners, Galpin Soap Company is proud to offer a month-long Labor Day sale. Get the Superstar 1200 collection, 65 pounds of bars, laundry, dish soap, and shampoo. Ship freight-free to the lower 48 at 5starsoap.com. Or enter to win the same Superstar 1200 collection at GCNlive.com. The Superstar 1200 collection is estimated to last up to 2 years and save up to $1,000. Sale and contest ends September 30th. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
My Magic Mud is a tooth whitening powder that removes plaque and detoxifies your mouth. It's safe for your enamel, giving you a beautiful polish and a dentist-like clean after every use. My Magic Mud is also the perfect remedy for pain caused by sensitivity. It strengthens your teeth and gums for a strong, healthy smile. The ingredients are 100% natural and it's safe for children. Simply brush with My Magic Mud right before bedtime for a cleaning you can count on. Visit mymagicmud.com.
Attention all listeners, are you ready for a free stock market webinar with PillsGang.com? Join us September 13th at 12 noon Eastern for this live PillsGang.com free webinar valued at $75. You'll learn how to protect your principal in this Federal Reserve-controlled low-interest rate market by identifying moves before they happen. To register, simply go to LearnStocksForFree.com, LearnStocksForFree.com, or call 877-600-4264, promo code GCN, 877-600-4264, promo code GCN.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Government's a gang with a flag. I forget who said that. I bet Lou Rockwell can remind me. Alex Jones here, back live. But more and more we see that our government is degenerating. And as you get a big unaccountable government, it becomes like an ecosystem or a coral reef where all these corrupt psychopathic eels and mercenaries and control freaks can hide and feed on people. That's the kind of civilization that we're becoming. We lost his Skype feed. We're going to reconnect with Lou Rockwell right now. but I wanted to get his view on the state of the empire, the state of government worldwide, and talk about his new book as well, Against the State. Because here's the deal. We know big government doesn't work. And we know the bigger it gets, the more peril everyone is in. And the whole basic mission of Infowars.com and what we do here is to get back to principles that we know work. But we can't even get to basic American principles, much less libertarian principles, as we're being drugged at light speed towards total statism. Lew Rockwell, I wanted to ask you, as kind of one of the grand poobahs of libertarian thinking, who was it that said the state is a gang with a flag?
Alex, I wish that had been I frankly don't know. It certainly is true. The state is a criminal gang, and we can think of war as just being government, because everything that government does overseas in terms of wars on a mass scale, it does on a slightly smaller scale to us at home. It's got its guns. It's putting guns at us all the time. It's ordering us to do things, or otherwise they're going to put us in a cage, or they'll kill us. And they want to grab our money. They get to decide how much of our money that we earn they get to take. It's like the mafia, although I hate to compare the government to the mafia. The mafia is, of course, a much better.
So what is the state of the world right now, then? I mean, for Team Liberty versus Team Tyranny?
Well, since all of human history, this has been a fight that's gone on. I think it's actually many good things happening all over the world. You mentioned the rejection of the dollar. One of the key aspects of the American empire has been forcing other countries to use the dollar. All the oil-producing countries to price their oil in dollars. Typically, if countries have not wanted to do that, they get bombed. Saddam Hussein and many other people. Saddam Hussein, the great promoter and protector of Christians, by the way, in Iraq. But nobody cared about getting rid of him and allowing the Christians to all be massacred. So this is the way government operates, and I think there's a lot of interest in freedom. I think it's a tremendous thing that apparently the people of Scotland, with my fingers crossed, are going to vote for independence from England. That would be a very, very good thing. Any secession, any decentralization, any place in the world is good for the cause of liberty. And I think young people all over the world, think of all the young people who listen to your show, young people are realizing that the government has really worked them over. Here they are, a lot of times graduating from college with a degree that doesn't do them any good. They've got a vast debt. They're worried about being able to get a job. Maybe they're having to live with their parents. They're all realizing that things are wrong. Things have gone wrong. And again, we live under the biggest, richest, most powerful government in the history of the world by many magnitudes, the U.S. government. But it's also the biggest bureaucracy ever to exist. And bureaucracy is inefficient. Bureaucracy has got many, many problems in operation. So I think the government is a lot less strong than it would have us believe. That's why they're announcing to us that they're listening to all our phone calls and emails and this radio show to high NSA. And it's why they are stepping up the taxes. It's why they're stepping up their wars. But I think because people are not believing the government. People don't want this war against ISIS. It's why these beheading videos have been put on in order to promote the war and get Americans to go along with it. Americans, as you pointed out, thanks to you and others of us who didn't want the war against Syria, the government, Obama was not able to launch that war. Now, of course, they're trying the ISIS thing, and they claim, well, don't worry, they're not going to be American troops on the ground. We're just going to bomb everybody from the air. Well, it's a funny thing about people in other countries. They don't like being bombed. Iraq has been bombed by the U.S. since 1991. So do people turn into what they call terrorists? Although terrorism, of course, is simply war. It's war by a non-state entity. It's the same sort of tactics as governments use. They call it war. They wear uniforms. They have their flags, as you say. They have their medals. They're patriotic. They're wonderful. We should all salute them and give them our seats in the airport and so forth. But really, terrorists are exactly the same. Maybe they don't wear a uniform, but terrorism is war. again, by a non-government like ISIS or...
Well, yeah, real terrorism is funding Al-Qaeda and then acting like a hero and making our troops go fight them. Lou Rockwell's our guest. Stay with us. We'll be back.
We're on the